What's up YouTube, welcome back to another video on my channel Skotrix, and today as you can see we are back on NBA 2K21 Next Gen for another build guide video. And in today's video I'm going to be showing y'all how to build the LeBron James build. This is a super good all around build. It has amazing finishing, shooting, playmaking, and defense, as well as really good physicals. So it's a super good all around build. But before I get into that, I just want to mention a few things. First off, Merry Christmas to all you guys out there. Hopefully you guys have a great Christmas. And second of all, I am going to be uploading another video later today in a few hours, and that's going to be the Kobe Bryant build, so make sure you stay tuned for that as well. And the third thing I want to mention, if you are not subbed to my channel yet, make sure you click that subscribe button, because only about 2% of the people who watch my videos are actually subscribed to my channel. So if you click that sub button right now, you can join the 2% gang. I really appreciate it, helps out a lot. But with all that being said, without any further ado, let's get right into the video here. Alright, so in this first screen, nothing really matters too much. The only thing that's important is you want your position to be a power forward. Similar to the Larry Bird build that I made a few days ago, you do want to make this a power forward because you get extra badges. You can make it a small forward, just follow the same attribute upgrades that I do, but you won't get quite as many badges. So keep that in mind. You could make it a small forward, but you just won't get as many badges. Then the hand, jersey number, that doesn't matter, neither does the name. You can set that up however you want, as long as you're power forward. Then go ahead and click continue. Now for the body settings for this build, first off for the height right here, you're going to want to go down 1 inch to 6'8". This is the perfect height for this build, and I believe it's also LeBron's height in real life. So this is the perfect height for this build right here, because it does allow you to get pro dribble moves at 97 overall, and it won't be hard to maintain 97 overall once you get it on this build. So don't worry about that, you'll have pro dribble moves on this build. You also get contact dunks and a ton of other good stuff. But one of the main reasons that you put this build at 6'8" right here is because it's the perfect height to be able to guard every single position. You can guard speed boosting point guards, you can guard paint beast big men, you can guard everything at 6'8" right here, especially because most big man builds are only 6'9". You'll obviously have no problem guarding a build that's only 1 inch taller than you, and most point guard builds really, you know, they dribble or whatever, but you're gonna have a really high perimeter defense on this build, and you're also gonna be pretty quick, so you'll definitely be able to keep up with them, and that's why you want to make this build 6'8" right here. Then for the weight, you do want to bring this down a little bit so that you get some extra speed. You just want to bring it down to 218 pounds right here. This will get your speed up to an 82, which is more than high enough, because remember, once you get into the Gatorade facility, that will get +4, so that's good. If you bring it down any lower, there's not really any point in bringing it down any lower. You just drop some other stuff, and if you bring it any higher, you lose that one speed. You don't want that. So 218 pounds, the perfect spot for the weight. Now for the wingspan, you do just want to bring this down 1 inch here. The reason why you do this is so that you can get pro dribble moves at 97 overall instead of 98 overall, which is good because it's a little bit harder to maintain 98 overall than it is 97 overall. Plus your shooting goes up a little bit, and the only thing that's really important that goes down is your driving dunk, and it only goes down 1 to a 94, which really isn't too big of a deal because you'll still get contact dunks and all that good stuff. You can get every single contact dunk animation, so that doesn't matter too much. And then for the body shape right here, this doesn't matter at all. You can choose whichever you want. Doesn't affect the build in any way. All it does is change how it looks. So for me, I'll probably just take defined because I think it's the most similar to LeBron. But again, you can choose whichever one you prefer for the body shape. Then go ahead and click continue. Now for the attribute and badge distribution for this build, first off for the finishing right here, you're just going to want to go ahead and max out your driving layup, driving dunk, standing dunk, and then put your post control up right here to a 49 right here, and this will give you 18 finishing badges. And as you can see, you can get just about every single good finishing badge onto Hall of Fame, which is really good. And again, you will be able to get every single contact dunk animation, so you're going to be a super good finisher with this build. 94 driving dunk, 92 driving layup. Trust me, you're going to have no problem finishing at the rim with this build. Super good finisher, just like LeBron. Then you can go down to the shooting right here. For the shooting, you're going to want to max out your mid-range, three-pointer, and then just put your free throw up right here to a 54, and that will give you 16 shooting badges, which again will be more than enough. As you can see, you can get a ton of good shooting badges onto Hall of Fame. Some of them you can only get onto gold, but remember, some of those gold badges will actually be able to get up to Hall of Fame once you get above 95 overall, because your attributes will go up, so some of the badges will unlock at higher tiers. So keep that in mind. Some of those gold ones will be able to get up to Hall of Fame, and I'll actually show you at the end of the video which ones those are when I show you how to put on the badges for this build. So this is good for shooting. You'll have no problem. 16 shooting badges, 87 and 90 shooting ratings. You'll have absolutely no problem. You'll be able to shoot lights out. Then for the playmaking right here, first off the pass accuracy, you want to bring this up to an 85, which is super good. And then you want to max out both the ball handle and the speed with ball, just like that. And that gives 22 playmaking badges. And again, every single playmaking badge onto Hall of Fame, some of them only onto gold, but again, those can get up to Hall of Fame, some of them can, once you get above 95 overall. So you're good right there. Every single playmaking badge you're going to need, and again, pro dribble moves at 97 overall. Then onto the defense right here, first off, you're going to want to go ahead and max out perimeter, steal, block, and your defensive rebound just like that. And that will give you 21 defense badges, and you can see you can get every single good defense badge. Again, just like in the other tiers, you can get basically every single badge with this build. It has almost 80 badges combined, so it is super good all around, just like I said. And we're not even onto the physicals right here. The physicals are also really good. And for these, first off, for the speed, you're going to want to go ahead and max that out. Same thing with acceleration, same thing with the stamina right here, and the vertical as well. And that is amazing physicals. Now you do have a couple extra attributes right here. You could put these into strength. Strength isn't too important. If you do want some strength on your build though, you could just either bring down the post control and lose a finishing badge and put that into strength, or just bring down your free throw or something and lose the shooting badge and put that into strength. But you really don't need too much strength. It's really not that important. You don't need it. And the other thing that you really don't need is interior defense. All this really helps with is avoiding getting dunked on, and it barely helps at all. So it's really not worth investing anything into when there's so many more important attributes. And the only thing that you don't have upgraded right here is the close shot. This also isn't too important. It eats up a ton of attributes and does not give that many badges. So if you did upgrade this, you wouldn't get as many badges, and it's really just not as good. Especially since you have such a high driving layup and driving dunk, you won't even need your close shot because you'll just be dunking on everybody every time you get into the rim. So with these last few attributes, you can put them with wherever you want. I'll just put them into offensive rebound, but again, you can put them wherever you want. Then go ahead and continue. Now for the takeover right here, you have some personal preference. It really just depends on your playstyle, but you have the options between the lockdown, playmaker, sharpshooter, and slasher takeovers right there. And for me, honestly, I would say for LeBron, the playmaking takeovers would be really good, but these takeovers just aren't as good as the other ones, so I'm not going to take a playmaking takeover. Instead, I'm going to take a slashing takeover, which is going to be finishing moves, as my primary, and as my secondary right here, I'm going to take extreme clamps, because those are both really good takeovers. But again, you can choose whichever one you want. It's really just personal preference. Then go ahead and say yes, and as you can see right here, boom, playmaking, 3-level scorer, shades of Chris Webber, Giannis Antetokounmpo, and John Collins. But this build really does play like LeBron. As you guys can see, it's a super good all-around power forward build, and again, you could make it a small forward as well. But now, like I said, I will take a quick second and show you how to put on the badges for this build. I recommend you stick around for this. It'll only take a second, and it'll also show you which badges that showed as gold will actually be able to get up to Hall of Fame above 95 overall. But first, on finishing right here, you're just going to want to go ahead and get Acrobat onto Silver, Slithery Finisher onto Hall of Fame, Posterizer onto Hall of Fame. Then if you took a slashing takeover like I did, you're going to want to go ahead and get Heat Seeker onto Hall of Fame. If not, you don't really need that. It's not as important. But if you took a slashing takeover, it is super important. And then with these last few badges right here, I'm going to go ahead and get some bronze badges. I'm going to get Putback Boss, Pro Touch, Fearless Finisher, and Lob City Finisher all onto bronze, just like that. And this is how I'm going to set up the finishing badges for this build. Super good finishing build. And these are definitely the goated badges for it. So go ahead and say yes. Now for the shooting badges right here, first off, you're going to want to go ahead and get Deep Threes onto Gold, Hot Zone Hunter onto Hall of Fame. If you took a sharpshooting takeover, you're going to want Hot Shot. I didn't, so I'm not going to invest into that. Instead, I'm going to go ahead and get Blinders onto Bronze, Deadeye onto Bronze, Rhythm Shooter onto Silver, Volume Shooter onto Silver, Tireless Shooter onto Bronze, and Stop and Pop onto Silver, just like that. This is how I'm going to set up these shooting badges. Super good all-around shooting build. You can shoot off the dribble, off the catch and shoot, everything. With these badges, you're going to be a lights out shooter, especially because your ratings are pretty high on this build. So just go ahead and say yes, just like that. Now for the playmaking badges right here, first off, I'm going to go ahead and get Quick First Step onto Hall of Fame. This is one of those badges that only showed as gold on the previous screen, but actually can get up to Hall of Fame once you get above 95 overall. So you're going to want to get that one onto Hall of Fame. Then Handles for Days, you're going to want onto Hall of Fame. Dimer, I'm going to put onto Gold. Since this is the LeBron build, you want to be able to help out your teammates as much as possible. And then I'm going to get Unpluckable onto Silver. That's really all you need on. Silver is good enough for Unpluckable right there. Then I'm going to go ahead and get Floor General also onto Gold, so you can help out your teammates as much as possible again. Then for some dribbling badges, all you really need is Ankle Breaker onto Bronze, Space Creator onto Bronze, and Tight Handles onto Bronze, just like that. That's all the playmaking badges, or all the dribbling badges that you're going to need. You really don't need any more than that. Those all are all good enough on Bronze. And then with these last few badges right here, I'm also going to get Bullet Passer onto Bronze and Downhill onto Silver, just like that. Downhill is a super underrated badge. Definitely get that on Silver with this build. And yeah, that's how I'm going to set up the playmaking badges. Super good playmaking badge setup. Super good playmaking build, just like LeBron in real life. Go ahead, say yes. Now for the defense badges right here, first off, I'm going to go ahead and get Clamps onto Gold, Intimidator onto Hall of Fame. This is another one of those badges that showed as gold, but can actually get up to Hall of Fame. Then if you took a defensive takeover, you're going to want to get Hot Stopper. I took a defensive takeover as my secondary, so I'm probably just going to get onto Silver. If you got it on your primary, or if you took a defensive takeover for your primary, you're going to want to go ahead and get this onto Hall of Fame, but I didn't. So instead, I'm going to go ahead and get Rebound Chaser onto Hall of Fame as well, Rim Protector onto Gold, Chase Down Artist onto Bronze, Interceptor onto Gold, and then Box onto Bronze, just like that. This is the best way to set up the defense badges so that you can guard on the perimeter, on the wing, in the paint, wherever. You can guard every single build with these defense badges. You're going to be a super versatile defender. So go ahead and say yes, and there you guys go. That is how you build the best LeBron James build in NBA 2K21 Next Gen. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure you like, subscribe to my channel if you're new. Like I said, only 2% of the people who watch my videos are actually subscribed to my channel. So if you click that sub button right now, you can join the 2% gang. Really appreciate it. Means a lot. And yeah, hopefully you guys have a great Christmas today. Again, another video coming later in the day, but that's gonna be it. All right, peace.